What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com. Man, I was wrong. I was wrong. Well, not at the time, but I'm just going to say that I do stick to my past statement that saying Andrew Jacked is the future of IFBB pro bodybuilding. But I said it's not going to be this year. And I meant it. When he beat Martin Fitzwater at the Texas, I thought he was off. I didn't think he was hard enough. I didn't think he was conditioned. And I honestly thought that Kuklo and Fitzwater probably, in my opinion, not only gave him a run, but I could have argued, in my opinion, which everybody disagreed with, which I still stand by, that, and I wasn't there in person. Again, I'm just watching this online like most of you guys, right? I'm like, based on the pictures I saw, I could have argued for either of them winning, but I don't think Andrew should have lost. But I can make the argument, right? I can be devil's advocate. So Andrew won. And as we're going forward, we see Martin Fitzwater, basically saying, I don't like this guy. He shouldn't have won, or whatever he said. I don't know. He said, I don't like this guy. And then you kind of see everybody else coming into the Olympia, right? You kind of see, Big Ramy is posting updates every day, which basically means that they were really mad at him for not showing up to the Pittsburgh. And they're like, dude, you got to get the fans engaged. You're Mr. Olympia. Post on your damn Instagram, you lazy bastard. And then you got Derek coming in from the 212s looking absolutely ridiculous. And then you have, you have such a range of competitors in this Olympia that I think this is the best Olympia we will ever see. Boniak, who gave Brandon Curry a run at the Arnold. Brandon Curry coming back. He just won the Olympia a couple years ago. People tend to forget about that, right? And then you have Nick Walker, who is absolutely astounding. So you got to look at this and think to yourself, what is the Olympia going to look like? With Andrew Jacked, my top three is completely out of the water. It is completely changing every single day. The one consistent is I don't see anybody beating Big Ramy. Big Ramy is big. He's just a big guy. And if he brings, his conditioning was so bad last year. Big Ramy was smooth in the morning show and he had no veins and he spilled over in the night show. So he was watery. And then what I think is they tried to drop that water and that made him spill even more, become smooth. There's absolutely no striations. There was no veins, but Big Ramy still won the Olympia. Okay. Derek coming in, Lunsford, that is. Derek coming in from 212. When you saw the Pittsburgh, I know Brandon was taking some time off, but you look at Nick and then you look at Derek, then you look at Brandon, you would never guess, even in any stretch of the imagination, that the two guys next to Brandon lost to Brandon. Yet there's Nick and there's Derek. And neither of them, I think Nick's lost to him once. Neither of them lost last year. Nick didn't do it. But you look at those guys and I know Brandon, to his defense, wasn't completely like following a program, so to speak. But wow, if that's any indication of anything, take Brandon out of it. Nick and Derek are coming to play. So before, my top two was going to be Big Ramy and Nick Walker. And now I'm kind of confused, right? Nick Walker is big, and he's the one guy I think can stand toe-to-toe, pound for pound with Big Ramy. But then you have this guy with the perfect proportions who we haven't even seen close to his best. And that's Andrew Jacked. So I'm looking at this Mr. Olympia, and as a fan, I'm just beside myself. This would be the greatest Mr. Olympia ever. And so I'm looking and I'm saying, who's going to be the top five? And I think that we have a big puzzle of who to solve, right? We still got Labrada in there. Like, Hunter looks amazing. You have a lot of wild cards. So that's why going outside the top 3 is very, 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 very hard to do. Hottie, people had Hottie placing second. I mean, this guy is a top 3 Olympia competitor. So as I look at it, who do I put as the top 3? And before, I believe it was Ramy, Nick, then Hottie. Fast forward, we're in October. It's almost getting to be close, right? So my prediction is still Ramy will win the Mr. Olympia. I don't see anybody touching Big Ramy. The question is who comes in second. I know when you have a reigning Mr. Olympia, that's usually the question. Who's coming in second? Is it Nick Walker or Andrew Jacked? Man, I'm going to have to flip a coin on that. Right now, I think Andrew Jack can come in second. I think Nick Walker will be either second or third, depending on if Jack comes in and actually brings conditioning. Bro, that's unlike anything we've seen since probably Phil Heath. That is an insane, stupid package that this kid brings. He's 37, that this guy brings to the stage. So then what do you do after that? You got Brandon Curry, who literally won the Mr. Olympia like in 19. That's not long ago. It's 2022, right? Who wins where does Brandon place? Man, as someone who loves Brandon's, former business partner, literally Brandon's neighbor in Tennessee, like not literally, but we're like a town apart. I mean, I hope Brandon's a wild card for whatever. Like Brandon, he's pushing, if he's not 40 yet, he's pushing 40. His legs have always been a weak point. As someone who is over 40, I can attest, and so can Kevin Levrone, it is the hardest thing to bring back, your legs. So his legs have always been a weakness. I'm not insulting him. Everybody knows it. We all have cameras and pictures. And at the same point, I'll say my arms, legs, and entire body are a weakness just to get on his level. So, man, you put Brandon's legs up against Andrew, up against Nick, up against Ramy. Then you got Hottie. Then you got Derek Lunsford. I don't see them putting Brandon outside top 6 just because he did win in 2019. But unless he brings something back from Kuwait better than what we saw last year, which I thought last year, for the record, I think Brandon beat Ramy last year. I do not know how the hell the judges came to that conclusion. Ramy was soft, he was off, but I'm not a judge. I wasn't there. Brandon brought the best Brandon Curry we've ever seen, and he should have won the Olympia last year, in my honest opinion, which a lot of you might disagree with. But here's the deal. I'm not a judge, so it doesn't fucking matter what I think, right? So look at it this way. If Brandon brings his best, I still don't see him right now unless again, the caveat in bodybuilding is always, what if they mess up their prep? What if they come in off? So the bottom line is, I think Nick still comes in second or third. Andrew comes in second or third. Hottie, his issue, in my opinion, is he's stockier, but he's shredded and he has those weird lumps on his delts. He could place anywhere from 4th through 6th. Derek Lunsford, I don't see him placing outside of top 5. He's only 3 feet tall, but the dude has more mass per square inch and his waist is better than anyone on that stage. I've seen this dude guest posed when I won my qualifier that allowed me to compete for my pro card. Lunsford and I actually guest posed with him after I won. I actually got on stage. He made me look like a fucking child. Like Derek Lunsford is the real fucking deal. So where does that leave everybody else? Boniak pushed Brandon, and in my humble opinion, at the Arnold, it would have been a really hard call if Boniak didn't have, I'm going to say it, his gyno. Boniak's gyno at the Arnold was horrible. It was like Dolly Parton tits. They looked bad. He got those taken care of. Boniak has beautiful breasts now. Beautiful, amazing titties. So does Boniak beat Brandon now? Boniak hasn't beaten the legs. Sure, his body's a little bit weird shaped compared to Brandon's. Brandon's got the perfect physique. other than his legs being slightly undersized. Shit, this Olympia is crazy, guys. So if I had a gun to my head, which I'm in Tennessee, there's a very good chance I do right now. I don't think anybody's beating Ramy. I don't see it happening. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Nick Trigili and put Andrew Jacked up there. I'm a huge fan. Guy looks great. I was wrong. Whatever. I see Nick Walker coming in 3rd. After that, Derek Lunsford. Derek Lunsford coming in 4th. I think he's got it. I see Hadi coming in 5th, and I see Brandon coming in 6th. 5th and 6th can be flip-flopped. And that is a biased opinion. And some people might have Brandon higher or lower, and it's really hard for me to do this because I want him to win. But like, shit. Like, this is just a stacked class. What do you guys think? Comment down below. But wow, this Andrew Jack guy, it's a real deal. It's a real deal. Who is your top 5 for the Mr. Olympia? Give me top 6. Comment down below, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, buy all your supplements from tigerfitness.com, and that's not a game.
Training intensity is everything. If you want to build muscle, if you want to get better, if you want to go hard, you need to train intense. A lot of pre-workouts, they get you intense. But then what happens? You crash. A lot of pre-workouts, they give you the pump, but then what happens? It wears off. A lot of pre-workouts, they'll give you all that stuff, but it doesn't add to your endurance. I want to be able to lift heavy. I want to be able to feel the pump. I want veins bulging from every single part of my body. I want to lift heavier weights every single time. I want to run farther. I want to run faster. I want to push harder, and I want to get bigger, stronger, and faster. And that's why I created Clash 3D. This pre-workout is next level, featuring 3D pump, Vasodrive AP, and a lot of other epic ingredients. Guys, this is the pre-workout that you need to take your workouts and your performance and your physique to the next level.